The Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFC Beast for 15% off active until the Eagles or Giants lose their next game. Those fucking Giants. I thought they were going to. And make sure to enter our World Series prop contest. Winner gets $200 cash and a $200 SGPN gift card. That's pretty good. I'm doubling my pay. Enter today exclusively on the SGPN app. That'd be quite something. All right, here we are. Live streaming. Bottom Line Bombs. Let's go. We're going to play the music later, but right now we're live streaming. I'll throw a bomb sound effect just for the hell of it. Welcome to the NFL Contest Pick Show, a.k.a. the Bottom Line Bombs. I'm CJ Sullivan, comedian and pick extraordinaire. I give you 5 picks with bits against the spread and one survivor pick for your contest, your Circa contest. I use all those lines. You can check those out at circasports.com. You can check my standings at circasports.com. It is a special Halloween Bottom Line Bomb. This is where I specialize. Halloween Bomb. We're live streaming today. So thank you, all you people out there making comments, looking at me live on the internet. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm bringing you guys inside the box. I'm the man in the box. Here's a little sneak peek. Look at this. Look at these options they give me. Here's the wide shot. Look at that. Look at that. That's a big box. Now I'm in the studio. It doesn't look so bad, you know. It's more fun when I'm in the box. Someone couldn't believe that this was real. They thought this was green screen. No, this is me trapped in my closet in the box. The man in the box. Anyway, that is the show. We're coming in here. We'll recap last week. We got 5 picks, 5 more bombs this week, and a survivor pick, and of course a man in the box segment towards the end, which we will do. Yeah, like I said, it's picks with bits. So it's a tough show. It's a tough show to make, to be honest with you. Not only are the picks tough, because it's impossible to win this contest. We're at 500. But also I got to write an hour content. So you guys, I should take these glasses off to see what your comments are, even though I don't like comments. Really. That's the problem. That's why I never really did good in radios, because it's all based on listeners calling in and comments and interactive, and you give them poll questions that come in. And I never cared for that. I didn't really understand why I needed listeners to help me with my fucking show. I don't jump on the stage with a magician or a band and like just jump in. Hey, you need someone to play the triangle here, Foo Fighters? No, we're good. We're the professionals. Why don't you sit in a seat? Anyway, it's a Halloween show here. I did not wear a costume. I was going to wear a costume. That's kind of fun when shows do that. You'll see that tomorrow. Pardon the interruption and around the horn. All wear fun Halloween costumes. But here's the problem with that. Once you wear a Halloween costume for your TV show, then you got to, it's funny for like a couple minutes, but then you got to do the rest of the show in costume. They got a mask on. You can't understand. I'm like, oh, this is great. You have a beekeeper mask on your face. Now I can't understand what the fuck you're saying. So you have to commit to the bit, you know? And they're not going to do that as sportscasters. Comedy does that too in stand-up. We'll have like Halloween shows, but then they won't do the character. It's like, I'm whatever. You're a mummy, but now you're doing your regular Uber bits dressed as a mummy. Like, what is this? It's ridiculous. So I didn't do this. I was wearing this. This is I was going to be dressed up as because I like Paul Newman's look in The Color of Money. That's why with these glasses. But I'm not Fast Eddie. I'm Slow Eddie. If Paul Newman was really down and out, Paul Newman today, is he dead? Gotta be dead, right? Slow Eddie would have been my thing. Anyway, bad week last week. We went 1-4 after going 4-1. We'll go through a couple of those. That was the problem. It's a problem with this contest. I mean, we made some progress. I mean, we're still around 500 because of all the equity we put in earlier in the season. We take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, you know? We're like Paul Abdul and MC Scat Cat. That was a good song. Whatever happened to MC Scat Cat? Yeah. You think his career would have took off a little bit? That poor rapper, because the rapper got his one chance. He got to do a song with Paula Abdul, who was at the height of her career. You know, hey, they want you to do the rap on this. Great, I'm a struggling rapper. I got to be in the video. No. Instead we're gonna have an animated cat dance with her in an alley. So just do the rap. That's all we need from you. Embassy Scat Cat career. Poor Paula Abdul too. I'm Team Paula. Crazy Paula Abdul. Fuck Brit. Everyone likes Britney Spears. Free Brit. Fuck Britney. She's a goddamn multimillionaire. She's doing fine in her Vegas compound. Paula Abdul. She's one. I'm Team Paula. She's legit crazy. She had a pill addiction. She's fucking. I bet she fucked Scat Cat. Didn't she have sex with one of those teenagers on American Idol and got kicked off the show? She is crazy balls. She made up a story about being in a plane crash. Yeah, I like Paula. Paula threw things away. Britney just had an allowance. So what? Get your priorities straight. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is an NFL gambling show. Like here I am, CJ Sullivan, bringing the papers into passion. The papers into passion. Oh, I got a new soundbite for that. I bring papers. Everyone else, I'm the analog guy here in the box. Everyone makes fun of me in the sports gambling podcast now because they all have laptops, but you can't smash your laptop around. I brought clipboards, you know? You get to rattle the clipboard. When things go wrong, you slam the clipboard down. What the hell's going on out there? We didn't design that. So I bring papers.
I'm the guy that pulled out the sheets of paper, that looked at the analytics, that watched the tape in the freaking when we were at Indianapolis.
That's my new soundbite. I just requested that. Thank you for Colby Dent bringing that up real quick for us. I'm the fucking guy who brought out the sheets of paper. I brought out the sheets of paper. And I looked at the analytics. No, you didn't, Ron Rivera. Anyone who pulls out sheets of paper is not looking at analytics. That's on the computer screen. Ex-linebacker Ron Rivera. I got to hear that again. It's so funny.
I'm the guy that pulled out the sheets of paper, that looked at the analytics, that watched the tape in the freaking when we were at Indianapolis.
Freaking Indianapolis. What is he talking about? Freaking Indianapolis. Oh, he's talking about what Carson Wentz played for Indianapolis. Yeah, what a meathead. I love it. Anyway, so we went 1-4 last week. We'll go over a couple of those two losses. That really burns me. Denver lost. I'm off. I'm off of these Denver Bronco games. When we did the show last week, Russell Wilson was supposed to play. That was the whole thing about how Russell Wilson is in a cult, I believe, and not the fun, sexy kind of, sexual assault cults in a robe or something. He's in one of those, poison in a juice box cult. He's going to bring those back, make those popular again. Those used to be really popular, the suicide cults. Put a bed sheet over your head, wear some Nikes, drink some Kool-Aid, and good night, nurse. You know what I mean? I like Starbucks now. That's not a good thing. I like getting into things late, like iPhones and Starbucks. I just got an iPhone in 2020 fucking 2 and Starbucks. Jesus Christ. I'm a hipster because I'm the fucking guy. Oh, one more time. Why not, Ron Rivera?
I'm the guy that pulled out the sheets of paper, that looked at the analytics, that watched the tape in the freaking when we were at Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah. So, and then by the time the show goes off, then they say, Russell Wilson, you're not playing. You have a hamstring injury. I do? Yep, you do. Trust me. We don't want to see you again. We have Mark Rippon's grandson, I think, playing. So Rippon went in there and they lost, of course. There was things happened, whatever. But, and that's the thing. Like, okay, it was a loss. I'm not going to complain about a loss, but I wouldn't have played it if I knew goddamn Mark Rippon's kid is playing the guy that's still quarterback. I wanted my Colt Russell Wilson. And now I'm off Russell Wilson. He's in London. The media's like pushing these corny Russell Wilson stories. It's too much. Now they're like, oh, wait to hear what he did on the flight over. He was doing stretches on the airplane while people are trying to get sleep. All right. Stop telling us to hate Russell Wilson. Now it's too much. But I also can't back him. The other one was, let's see, the other loss I didn't like was we lost Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Everyone did. But what I hate about that is I had the analysis right. I just didn't go through with it. You know what I mean? Like I had Carolina pinned that they were Lean on Me. The movie Lean on Me, the high school versus the Rams, they were at the beginning of Lean on Me. And then Wilkes comes in as the coach comes in as Morgan Freeman and cleans up the place. He's fucking he's trading players at halftime. He's sending out McCaffrey, his kid Ray. And what I didn't realize, that's Fair East Side. You know, he changes the pep song, makes them all sing it in the bathroom. The rest of Lean On Me, he turns that school around. And that's what he's doing at Carolina. He turned the school around the next week. They passed the app. They got the minimum for the aptitude test. They painted the banner every day. You know? And I didn't fall through with it. I stuck with Tampa Bay because I thought, I don't know what I thought. That's on me. I had the analysis and I didn't do the pick. I had the bit analysis, but I didn't trust the bit. I didn't trust the fucking bit again. The bit over picks. Fuck around, then you find out. How about that Mike Evans? That was fun. The referee's getting rid of his first autograph. He didn't. They said it wasn't. There was a video of Mike Evans and the referees calling him and he gave him his autograph. They said he wasn't getting his autograph, which I believe because who gets an autograph anymore? Everyone gets selfies. No one gets. Maybe an old white referee would get an autograph. Hey, bring it to their son. You bring your kid home an autograph. You'd be like, what the fuck is that? A signature on a piece of paper? How am I supposed to get likes with that? No, you get a selfie. You make the celebrity take a picture with you during his dinner. Turns out he was just getting his phone number so he can give him golf lessons, which is hilarious. That sounds like what an old white referee is. Hey, Mike, let me get your digits. I got a great golf instructor in Lubbock, Texas for you. That sounds believable. Anyway, what else we have here? We have the worst. Oh, real quick before we get to the ad breaks into this week's bottom line bombs. Worst gambling guy segment. We started out last week with Bill O'Donnell, who texted me congratulations before the game was over. And of course that game lost 100% because of him. This week is anyone who corrects me for my shows in the box. You are the worst guy ever. Basically anyone who attacks me is the worst guy ever. You're nominating yourself for the segment. I can't read those comments. I should get in there. Couple of mistakes from last week. Listen, mistakes are going to happen in the box. All right. There's no editor here. There's no producer. They just lock me in this fucking box. As you can see, wide end. Look at that. I'm in this box by myself, losing my goddamn brain. And then they clean it up afterwards. So there's no one here to tell me I'm wrong. Let's go over a few. I meant to say Rex Ryan, but instead I said Rex Reed. Rex Reed, who is a critic for the New Yorker, I believe, out in the town. I think his column. I did not mean critic Rex Reed. I meant Rex Ryan. A couple weeks ago, I said Bill Polian, Jim Irsay. That happens for the Colts. That happens. Whatever. You know what I meant. That's what I mean with corrections. You know what I meant. Why? I get it. It makes you, when you hear it, you lose credit. It loses credibility. But I tell you what, I'm never going to critique anyone on a show who makes a mistake like that again. I also, I was trying to bring up Mystery, the pickup artist from the VH1 show years ago. And I said Mystique instead. I called him Mystique. In my defense, I think Mystique's a better name than Mystery. People love that Mystery. He was hilarious. He liked the neg girls and wear a lot of accessories and big jester hats and shit. But Mystique is kind of a cool name. I don't know. I remember Scott Farrell, who's a sports talk guy. He's on this, not this show in particular, but he's on the Sports Gambling Podcast now. He's a great guy. He talks like this, you're the man, I'm the man, you're the man, I'm the man. That's how he talks. He's great. He's been in for years. He does a solo show. So one time there was like some kind of guerrilla reporting documentary about sports talk guys and how they're wrong, and they just put things out there. And so they got him after a show. He said something like, Tim Biakbatuka is always hurt. And then they came up with stats with him like, he's actually only missed 2 games in his entire career, so you're wrong. Goes, oh, was I? Oh, well. And then that's how he handled it. Oh, well, was I wrong? So what? And then you could tell the reporter had no idea how to handle that. Like, oh, I thought we were going to go back and forth on this and you were going to deny it. I don't know what to do when someone just doesn't give a shit. And that's exactly what it is. So I kind of agree with that. And mistakes are going to happen in the box is what I'm going to say. It's like especially 1 and 4. But this is a special Halloween edition of the Bottom Line Bombs. Man, my vision is really bad. Maybe it's these awful gambling glasses that I'm wearing because I want to read your comments, and I will. But first, I have to read some ad reads. You see how I segued that? I'm getting pretty goddamn professional. Let's see what the clock's at. Sometimes I have to look at the clock. Oh, man, I was really babbling there, huh? All right, well, we have a special Halloween edition of Bottom Line Bombs, but first, let me tell you about WinBet. Thinking of joining WinBet? Bet $100 to get a $100 free bet. Looking to join WinBet's biggest winners club. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet so they know we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer is subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where you play through WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Just a little note for anyone listening to the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and the Bottom Line Bombs. That question there, if you have a gambling problem or if you know someone, you do. You have a gambling problem. You subscribe to this network. But I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. How much money can you lose? Someone you know. You mentioned reporting someone for a gambling, calling a number. I like to report my bookie. He's got a fucking gambling problem. He keeps wanting money from me every week. Can you dox your fucking bookie? I like that. I like when I make myself laugh as well. All right. YouTube Sports Gambling Podcast give you a chance to win your choice of either an autographed Lawrence Taylor or an autographed Brian Dawkins jersey. Be Doc. Contest is completely free to enter. It's fun. Subscribe to the YouTube.com Sports Gambling Podcast, which you're watching right now. Comment on the video. Each video is a new chance to win, like a video right now. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss SGP contacting you when they pull the winner. And then we have a special World Series bet. I'll talk about the World Series later in the Man in the Box, but make sure to enter our World Series prop contest. Winner gets $200 cash, $200 SBGN gift card. Enter today exclusively on the SGPN app. All right, now let's get into it. Oh, hold on. Thanks. I want to read those comments. Let me see if I should go to YouTube or should I just squint my eyes more? All right, let's just get into it. Whatever. Whatever I say. No, actually, I'm gonna do it. First Bottom Line Bomb. Let's just get into it because I gotta hurry up here. I'm just doing this way too, well, I kind of want to see these comments though. Let me see. Oh, there I am. And now I'm looking at me. Look at that. CJ Sullivan, the man in the box, in the side of a much smaller box. That's fun. Look at that. How do we do this? Hello, fans. What is your costume, Ken Barnard? Oh, this is great. Now I'm looking at it. There we go. First time, long time. Box looks great. You're welcome. McNabb jersey next week. All right. There you go. I got your comments in there. All right. Now I'm listening to myself. Listening to a man in a box. All right. There is no costume. Like I said, you can because it's kind of, you have to commit to it too much. All right. Halloween themed bombs. This is going to be exciting. Let's start right off with Monday night, the Monday night game, Halloween, October 31st, Monday Night Football, Cleveland versus Cincinnati. Ooh, that's scary. What is scarier than the Battle of Ohio? What's scarier than Ohio in general? They determine the fate of our country every 4 years. What a ridiculous state Ohio is. Just scary in general. Me and Sean Cole, we used to drive from Chicago to the East Coast. He lived in Maryland and I lived in Philly, and we would split rides. And he wasn't allowed to drive through Ohio. I had to handle Ohio. And I could not drive in Pennsylvania. He would handle Pennsylvania. And so it's scary because we both had records in those states. And none of us could do Indiana. We let Jesus took the wheel on Indiana. Anyway. Yeah, so Cleveland, Cincinnati, the Battle of Ohio. It seems like they play 8 times a year, these two teams, But this is the first time they're playing. They'll play 9 more times. They're like the horror movies that this is what the Cleveland Cincinnati run. They're horror movies that have so many sequels, they stop numbering them. The hope that you forget, what number they're on. Like Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends, H2O, Halloween coming at ya. Halloween does not stop. Inevitable. Like, okay, what number is this now? We don't want you to know. We're just going to put active words. They go back and they reset it. Oh, man, it's hilarious. So now, it's kind of like me how I was with comedy. Back when people like to ask you, how long you been doing stand-up comedy? And when I first started out, the first 10 years, I would lie up, to make myself feel better. I've been doing about 10 years, and now I lie down. Oh, I'm just started. It's embarrassing how long I've been doing it. And I wound up here on a box yelling about the Browns. Oh, man. But this is going to be a fun Halloween game. Full size. Ohio is, I imagine trick-or-treating in Ohio, you get the full size candy bars. They're not cheaping you out. They are straight up fucking Milky Way bars that are going to weigh your bag down. But it's going to be great. Nothing makes sense. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take, you have Cincinnati Bengals. They're on their way up right now. They're actually a good team. There's only 3 good teams, they say, in the league right now. Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Kansas City are 3 great teams. And then everyone else is shit. But the Bengals they're getting pretty good. So they're definitely on their way up. And the Browns are they're on their way down. Last week, oh my God, they kicked a 61-yard field goal to try to tie it at the end. But he thought it was a little too long, so he had a snapper go up a yard. Cleveland did that, make it a 60-yarder. So he was closer to the line of scrimmage. So of course the kick got blocked. Fucking the Brown. That's what the Browns do. They're a horrors. There's no better place to be in Halloween than Cleveland Municipal Stadium in the dog pound. But because of this, because nothing makes sense, we're going to go with the Browns plus 3.5. Now, do I think they're going to win? No, they're going to lose. They're the Browns. But there's nothing scarier than a backdoor cover. So if there's no they're like one, like these horror villains that come out of nowhere. It makes no sense. All of a sudden they're alive. Like, what? Jason's alive? Wasn't the last movie Jason's dead? There's no fucking way. There's another one. Yeah, but now the new one's Jason lives. New beginning. Final chapter. That's what it was. Final chapter, then new beginning, and then Jason lives. That's what these Browns are. Like, it's going to make no sense whatsoever, but they're going to cover 3.5 somehow. I caught a little bit Jason Lives last night. I've been watching some horror movies during October. That's what I like about it. I do like about watching some horror movies in October. The only time I like watching them. Eric Acosta, shout out to Eric Acosta out there, Team Bloodfart in our fantasy league. He had a good bit about the beginning of how they explained Jason coming back to life. If you watch, you can YouTube at the beginning of Jason Lives. It's the opening scene. The guy is so traumatized by Jason from the last movie of killing him that him and his buddy Horseshack he wants to go dig up Jason Voorhees' grave to see for himself, just to make sure he's dead. Not make sure. I got to see with my own 2 eyes. So he just drives to the cemetery, an unprotected cemetery, by the way. This guy's a famous mass murderer, and he's just buried next to your aunt. Anyone can just walk up on this thing, and it's not even desecrated. Anyway, he digs him up, and then to send him to hell, he rips off a fence pole pretty easily and stabs in his heart, and then lightning strikes, and fucking he comes back to life and kills everybody. That's shout out to Eric Acosta who pointed out the hilariousness of that. Jason Lives. So that nothing is scarier than just when you think he's dead. That's when you think these Browns are dead. Jacoby Brissett's going to backdoor cover. So we're going to do Browns plus 3.5 for our first Halloween bomb of the night. That is scary. I'm scared already. All right, let's move on to New England and the Jets, another scary one. This line is New England minus 2.5. Speaking of horror movies and movies that have so many sequels that they don't even want to number them anymore, this one reminds me of my favorite Halloween horror movie sequel, Halloween 3. New England. We're going to take New England minus 2.5. Bill Belichick. Halloween 3, if you don't remember. So Halloween, very successful franchise. Michael Myers, the piano, the horrifying piano. And then Mike Myers, one of the best best villain killers of all time. Him, Jason, Freddy Krueger, top 3, no doubt. So what does Halloween 3 do? They fucking they don't tell the audience this, but they get rid of Michael Myers and they try some new script about the masks. About like Halloween masks you put on your kids, how they're evil and they make you go evil. And they got rid of the piano song and they put some fucking other corny song on there, like 6 more days to Halloween. And it made it made sense. On its own, it's actually not a bad movie. But slapping that title of Halloween on it was balls. And it was just to get people in from that audience. And audiences were irate. Like, what the fuck is this? The Mask? Where the hell's Michael Myers? And they're just like, hey, come on. We had the script. We thought we'd go with it. Jesus. Can we have a little creativity? We have 50 more of these Michael Myers movies. We'll get to that. And that was, so people were just fucking pissed. So that was Bill Belichick last week. Mac Jones comes on the quarterback and he's like, I know I've made a Hall of Fame career of defense and game management and being smarter than all these meatheads, but what if I just pull them mid-quarter and throw the zappy kid out there and have a prolific offense? And no one knew that was coming. The Patriots offense said they had no idea. No one told them they were going to have a quarterback change like that, or that was even a possibility. And Belichick's been hilarious about it. He said, they asked him like, hey, was Mac Jones healthy enough to play? He goes, I don't answer hypotheticals. That's not a hypothetical question. Was he healthy enough? That's a hypothetical. No, it's not. And I know you I know you can convince your meathead players but we're journalists. We know what the word hypothetical means. And that's not a hypothetical. Then he goes, yeah, that was the plan to switch the quarterbacks, but it didn't get to the offense. We didn't have time to tell them. What? You didn't have time during the week of practice to tell your players what the plan was? So the Patriot players were the audience. Where the fuck is Michael Myers? What's going on here? Oh man. So what did the Halloween franchise do? The same thing that Belichick's doing. They come out with Halloween 4 right after Halloween 3, and it's literally called The Return of Michael Myers. All right, it might as well have been called Are You Happy Now, Assholes? Can you leave it? Can you leave it be? It comes off the piano. The opening scene's Michael Myers. It's a fucking pink poster. He does a fucking pimp walk coming in. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be nothing but Michael Myers from here for the next 50 years. You can't get rid of him now because you complain. God forbid you watching a nice, enjoyable script about masks. So now that's what Belichick's got to do. He has to throw Mac Jones back out there. And they're going to win this week because Bill Belichick hates the Jets. There's nothing more classic Belichick than the Jets and the Browns. That's who he likes beating. So, and it was a disaster last week. They got smoked by the Bears somehow. Who knows how? But they did because they tried to script with the masks. That's what happens. Now it's the return of Mac Jones, Mike Myers. Anyway, so we're going to detonate that second bomb. So we have New England Patriots -2.5. Is that what I said that line was? Yes, -2.5. Detonate it. Pat's return of Mac Jones and the piano. Ooh, these Halloween bombs are great. They're great because I said so. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to read some more ads, and then we're done. I'm great at these ad reads, too, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. Professionals, companies, got to be ecstatic. A couple weeks ago, they said, make these ad reads your own. And then I did. They're like, yeah, don't make them your own as much. I think it's more when I tell people they do have a gambling problem and things are going to get worse if you're listening to me. No House Advantage. It's changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. Play pick'em contests versus other people for a shot at winning $250K. And plus in cash. That's right. You download the app, you choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for correct picks, club the leaderboard, test your skills versus the house, and 20 times your entry fee if you hit all your picks. That's never going to happen. Bet up to 5 player props over under individuals in every sport: NFL, NBA, baseball, golf, MMA, NASCAR. Sign up now with the promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com. or download the app on the app stores. You get $1 deposit, match up to $25. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today and experience daily fantasy sports redefined, because it's not just how you play, but it's where you play. You don't want to miss out on this. And that's end of reads. Look at that. Man in the box. I print out my ad reads too. They Sean and Ryan Ed Honchos here, which I'm going to be on the show after this, by the way, the prop show. They're gonna let me out of the box and into the adult world. I'm gonna be on this. I'm gonna be on this wide angle. I'm gonna be right in the middle of these with 2 other people. Can you believe that? Look at that. Back to me in the box. That's it for the ad reads, which makes a lot of people happy. People say too many fucking ad reads. I want a goddamn. Let me see more comments. 3 viewers. That can't be right. Let me see. Let's see the live chat. All right. I wanted more comments. Still remember bugs crawling out of the pumpkin mask in that movie. It says Insano. Halloween 3 the worst. Insano, I will say this about Halloween 3. It's actually not the worst. If you on its own, I mean, it's not great. It's a left turn. And I kind of like it just how angry it made their fans. So for that, I like it. And that's what Bill Belichick does. That's where we're going with that bomb. All right. Enough of that. Now let's get into 3 more bombs, and we're going to get into some real scary ones here in the Halloween Bottom Line Bomb Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am CJ Sullivan. I'm the man in the box. Cowboys, Bears. This line is 9.5. That is a lot of points for Dallas and Lang. Yes, the Bears just had a big Monday night win, so it's obvious letdown, and they're not good. But we're going to go with the Bears, plus 9.5 on this one, and this is why. The Dallas Cowboys, they're that house on the block. When you go trick-or-treating, that has the real elaborate decorations that the whole family is involved in. Like they have the casket out in the front yard that grandpa's in. They got the little girl tied up behind a tree with her arm falling off, the kids up on the roof. And they do a whole thing. And they can only handle like groups of kids like 8 at a time because they put on like some community play for you. You got the weird fucking some speaker box through a plant. That sounds awful. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, I gotta endure all this. I have to listen to all this just for what? And that's what's the thing. The candy they gave you, it's nothing spectacular. After this show, you should have a huge, I want a full-size chocolate basketball or something. No, you're getting, a fun-size Mr. Goodbar and some a Spree or something. Spree sucks. What is Spree? Is it trying to? It's in between like Skittles and Mentos or something. Like, what's going on with Spree? And it's this house that gives you the elaborate fucking play like this. Hold on, kids. They're so into it. And it's always a disappointment. And they think it's amazing. They love it. They love the show. Okay. They're not even trying to scare you. They're just doing a whole thing. They are trying to scare you, but it's coming. And the kids don't give a fuck. We're not here to be scared. We're here to collect candy. You do your family. Take this shit to TikTok with your family fucking dancing or something, whatever the hell it is. Is drinking professional during a show, hearing ice slap against the microphone? Anyway, so that's what the Cowboys are. The Cowboys are this house that has their elaborate Halloween thing where all the families in there. They put on this big show, and it sucks. That's what Dak Prescott's return. Well, wait till Dak comes back with this defense. Wait till you see. Yeah, we saw it. They barely beat the fucking Lions. I mean, they did with the score-wise, and they covered, but because Jamal Williams fumbled going into the end zone. Then you watch Dak, is this it? Then you see the show, is this it? That's Dak? Okay. Just look like the other one. Look like the other guy they had out there. I'm not saying, of course, he's Rusty's his first game back, but that's how the Cowboys are. They think their show is so much bigger than what they are. They have that huge stadium, blah, blah, blah. But then they're just the Cowboys. They're just a mediocre team who's playing well and they have a good defense. But the point is, 9.5 is a lot. It was over to 10. Now it came down. The Bears, it's a scary bet to make with the Bears. Justin Fields, they love saying he refuses to throw the ball, but maybe he can. That was weird how they beat the Patriots. And you'd think Bill Belichick would understand that he does not want to throw the ball forward. And maybe he is good, decent at football. I don't think it is. That was another Eric Acosta line. I might as well just make this the Eric Acosta show, where you said the Bears just forgot to ask Justin Fields if he was good at football during the interview process. Oh, by the way, real quick before we draft you, are you good at football? Should have brought that up earlier. But I think they are. I think they're okay. They're coming up, and I'm not laying 9.5 with Dallas versus anybody, even the Fair East Side Carolina Panthers. So let's burn through this. The elaborate house on the block that has to give you the show. You have to sit there for a 20-minute show so you can get a Mr. Goodbar and a bag of Spree. Chicago Bears plus 9.5. Bomb it. Come on. These Halloween bombs are getting scary. Scary. All right. Let's go into, do I want to do this one or the next one? You know, speaking of those houses, let's go to Detroit, because this is a fun one. Detroit versus Miami. Line is 3.5. Miami is favored. Now, if Dallas is the house that has the elaborate fucking Halloween where the whole family's involved and jumping out of the coffins and doing their community theater play for you so you can get some shitty candy, Detroit's the opposite of it. They're the real deal. They're the abandoned house up on the hill where there's that creepy old man living there, and he doesn't even come out to greet you. He just puts the bowl out front on the porch, says it has a little take one note, but you're being watched, and you know you're being watched. You got the 3-foot-high lawn. There's a bench press out there for some reason, but it's not. You know it's not his, and he doesn't know it's just equipment. Rustic fucking wheelbarrows and shit. Anyway, he leaves that candy out. You're being watched, and you do. It's kind of a social experiment, you know. You know he's not even he's not on vacation. He's just this creepy old man up on the hill. He just doesn't want to fuck. He probably legally can't talk to you kids. That's what's even scarier. And that's what the Detroit Lions are. They're a scary place to visit. They're not good. They don't do anything for society, but Halloween, you don't want to fuck with them. We'll just say that. And there's always one kid when they have the basket of candies, just take one. There's always one kid who's like, fuck this. No one's looking. He grabs a handful. That's Tyreek Hill this week. Tyreek Hill is definitely grabbing the whole bowl of candy, putting it in his bag. And what happens to that kid? He dies. He dies because he's laced with fentanyl. Because strangers, drug dealers love to give out free drugs to kids. That's what they tell you on Fox News. Watch out, there's drugs in these kids. What? Why would there be drugs in these candies? Drug dealers want to make money off their drugs. They don't want to just give away and poison fucking kids. That's lazy anyway. In my day, you had to put razor blades in the goddamn candy. I mean, you had to really do some finesse and do some work if you wanted to make up something about that. You know what I hate? You know what's real annoying? Is that razor blades come in pack of 16, but the candies come in bags of 24. It's like the hot dog in a bun situation. Now I got to fucking figure out the lowest common denominator to find out how I can balance out my razor blades and my candy. That's a joke I used to tweet every Halloween about how it's annoying. Candy comes in 24, razor blade 16, whatever it is. It's making a joke on the hot dog and bun situation. Anyway, I would post it. It would get some action, get some traction. But moms would get upset, and they would really come after me like, that's not funny. Kids died. And first of all, no, they don't. This has never happened ever in the world. It's a fucking myth about these razor blades and candy. She actually posted, I remember it was on Facebook. She goes, why don't you call this police department in Ohio where this kid died and say that joke to him? Well, why don't you do that? I bet you won't do that, will you? You're right. I won't do that because that's what crazy people do. Crazy people would call a random police department and say a tweet to them. Okay, Carol, you're crazy, and you want me to do crazy things too. Now go ahead and let your kid eat all the fucking candy in the world, throw up. A razor blade is probably the healthiest thing that would go inside this kid. With the goddamn Charleston juice and the peppers. Anyway, so Detroit Lions, scary place, house on the hill, fentanyl in the candy in the bowl. You'll be fine if you just take the one. But if you get greedy, like Tyreek Hill, man on the hill, then you're in trouble. So we're going to go with Lions plus 3.5. Bomb it, Halloween style. Woo, now we're cooking. Now we're getting in there. 40 minutes. Jesus Christ. What do we have so far? We got four. I gave you 4 bombs. I gave you Patriots. We gave you that. Browns, Lions, and Bears. Oh my. That's scary. That's Halloween. You gotta get the scary picks. Those are 3 bad teams. But it's Halloween. Gotta be scary. Lions, Browns, and Bears. Oh my. All right, let's get to the 5th bottom line bomb. Then I'll recap those, and I'll give a survivor pick, and then a man in the box segment. And then I'll be doing the prop show later on with Sean and Ryan. This is my favorite game of the week, the Irish Car Bomb Detonation game of the week, if you will. This game epitomizes Halloween. This is Las Vegas Raiders versus New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Is there a more Halloween game than that? The Raiders at the Saints in New Orleans. 2 beautiful, glorious Halloween teams. 2 classic Halloween matchups. These are like the 2 teams that are super into Halloween. We have friends that are really into Halloween. They look at they design their costumes months in advance. They're asking you what you're going to do. That's the Raiders. The Raiders love their costumes. They're super into it. They're the kind of guy. They're people like the Saints are in for Halloween parties. They like the Halloween parties. They like to get fucked up on weird punches, and they like to have sex in costumes and have slut shaming and walk of shame. Some Disney princess walk of shame holding her heels. That's what the Saints are all about. The Raiders are all about their costumes. So much where they don't even want to go to a party. They just want to go to different bars where there's contests. Like, no, my costume is so good. I want it to be at a contest to be judged. All right, well, that's cool. The rest of us are going to be hanging out at this party, because we're friends. But yeah, all right, go bar to bar to see if your fucking your Transformer costume is going to win a contest that you've been building for the last 5 months. It's a lot of fun. Meanwhile, we're going to be on mushrooms and fucking Everclear. Oh, that makes me laugh. I'm looking at my papers. Costume bars. And then here's the thing with the Raiders. We're going to go with the Saints plus 2.5, by the way, because Halloween's about the party. We're adults now. Enough with the costumes. Costumes are fun for the Instagram, but when you're too into it, the Raiders are costumes all year round. They're a combination of scary and funny. Like at first they're scary, but then you realize, they're not that harmful, are they? They're not harmful. They're just the Raiders. And then you laugh at them, which is a fun juxtaposition in horror movies because a lot of them combine the horror and comedy. It's common. They're like, what's a good one for that? Like American Werewolf in London. John Landis directed that one, I believe. That one's a good one. Because like the villain are like these zombie Nazis with machine guns. They're so over the top. You're like, it's scary. But then they're like blowing everyone away. Like, it's actually kind of funny. That's because this is ridiculous. Zombie Nazis or werewolf Nazis with machine guns. This is absurd. And that's what the Raiders are. They're absurd. That has a dream within a dream. They're the first. Apparently, that was like the first horror movie to have the dream and the dream. Like this horrible dream with these Nazis shooting everyone. And he wakes up in the hospital like, oh my God, I had a horrible dream. And then another Nazi comes out and shoots the nurse. Like, what the fuck? And then that was a dream. It's a dream within a dream. And then you're like, all right, what is any of this real? What is this then? Nothing matters? Is that what the rules are in this movie? Which is a fun thing to tell your audience, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's no one we're backing. We're backing the Saints. Andy Dalton, that's a scary proposition on Halloween. But we'll take them. They're getting 1.5. It was 2.5. So they're getting 1.5. A lot of the Raiders apparently have the flu already. Yeah, I bet you have the flu going down to New Orleans. You just don't want to be in New Orleans in Halloween time. I mean, you want to be there for fun, not for work. And there's going to be, they got to work there on Sunday. So we will go New Orleans Saints plus 1.5 for our 5th and final bomb. Bomb it, your fucking Mardi Gras Halloween. Have sex in a costume party. Isn't it fun to walk of shame the next day of Halloween? Girls are fucking guys in their costumes, Ezra. Better than Ezra? Ursa. Who's the frozen princess? I don't fucking know. Fun characters on a bus holding her heels. Get the Uber. All right. So let's just real quick to recap the bottom line bombs. We took Cleveland plus 3.5. Yikes. New Orleans just now plus 1.5. Detroit plus 3.5. New England minus 2.5 and Bears plus 9.5. Those are all bad teams, but we're underdogs, which I like. Last time that's more the bottom line bombs. This is more our wheelhouse when we take ugly, gross teams that make no sense plus the points. That's where we thrive. Last week we did too many favorites. It's just too many favorites. You can't do it. All right, we'll give out a survivor pick now. Is that what we're going to do? Let me take a look here. And then the man in the box segment, and then we're done. Thank you guys for coming in for the live stream. This will be on the YouTube channel. Let me read some comments before we get into it. We're at 40. We're at 45, but this is a deluxe Halloween show. I gotta give a shout out. I'm going to do the interaction with this is so fun because I'm doing the man in the box within the box. Second week with a Transformers reference. Ken Barnard, if you listen to all the shows, I repeat jokes a lot. You know what I mean? I'm writing an hour of content every week about fucking football games. I'm going to repeat jokes. Although I didn't repeat a joke, I just repeated the reference. Is that what happened? I don't even know. My vision is so bad that I can't look at the comments on a TV. There's a TV right there. I should show you guys that. Can you see it on there? No, you can't. That I'm putting up the man in the box in my little box right here to play me playing boxes. This me in boxes. Oh, this is fun. Just so I can look at your comments because I want to look at your comments. I do. I really do. Let's take a look. Oh my God. I should turn the volume down at least. No, that's about it. You got to stop commenting. It doesn't look like it. Oh, these are the top chats. I can switch it to all chat. You're watching an old man in a box figure out technology in front of your eyes. That's fun. All right, let's get to the survivor and then man in the box here. Like we said, another Halloween. There's a couple options you can go. I lost last week with the Patriots versus the Bears. I had two contests. I went with Tampa Bay, who's lost, and Bears lost. So I'm out of it. I'm out of Survivor. I would go with Buffalo over Green Bay this week, unless you're in a Circa Survivor contest, which is what we're basing it on, because you want to save Buffalo for Thanksgiving because they're doing a thing where the Thanksgiving games and the Christmas games are their own week. So it's 20 weeks. So you want Buffalo there because they're playing Detroit. But if you're in a regular one, I highly recommend Buffalo this week over Green Bay. They're playing Green Bay at night, which the Bills should absolutely destroy the Packers. I love it. I love the Bills. The Buffalo is a fun Halloween place. I bet they're the house on like 3 neighborhoods over that you drive to that really give out good candy bars. Like, you know what? They're worth the drive. Let's drive to Buffalo. They give out the huge homemade chocolates. Who knows what's in it, but we love it. That's amazing. They had a fun story. The Bills. They're coming off a bye. Last we saw them, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the game of the year, at least team wise. Matchup wise, their safety, Jordan Poyer, there was a story about him. He couldn't fly to Kansas City from Buffalo. He had to drive in a Mercedes Sprinter because he has a collapsed lung and flying would have been too dangerous. And my favorite part about that story was if you read it online, the online comments, just like you guys commenting here on your YouTube here, which I'll get to all of them afterwards. It went through my favorite process. It starts off with everyone saying the same ignorant thing. And what the fuck? It's safer to play in an NFL football game than to fly in a plane. Maybe you shouldn't have been playing. Blah, 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 blah. No one knows what they're talking about. And then one smart guy comes in. No, actually, it's because of the air pressure that causes your lung to collapse, puts you at high risk. You're not at risk by getting contact. It's just the air pressure thing. So, that's why that is. And so then, instead of everyone admitting, okay, you're right, time to end the conversation here online, that's not what online commenters do. Then it just made a hard right turn into the rail system in our country and why how we're too dependent on cars and how we should be on trains. Like, what? Talk about a Buffalo Bills safety's lung. I know, then the rail system, then they're independent fucking, and then Henry Ford fucked us. What? You're just talking about your cousin who got laid off. Anyway, where was I? The Bills. Good chocolate, good candy. They're going to beat the Packers. The Packers are an absolute mess. Aaron Rodgers, holy shit, has he been hilarious? I mean, I'm starting to really like Rodgers. He's just selling out his players left and right. He does not give a fuck. They're terrible. They're losing to the Jets. They're losing to Washington. And after the game, he's like, yeah, half those receivers, they shouldn't be playing. They should be off the team. They're making mental mistakes. Really? What about you? You just got a contract for $50 million. His quote was, yeah, I can up my level a tick. A tick. What about the guy who dropped the ball? Yeah, he should be cut and fired, and his family should be fucking on the streets. Anyway, I could up mine a tick. Great. Thanks, Aaron. He's the kid. He's the guy. Now he's in the fucking. I'm cursing a lot. I'm getting reeled up for my man in the box. I think that's it. The Starbucks because I'm cursing a lot. I curse. I don't even know what I'm cursing. What am I doing? Aaron Rodgers is the guy who like explains you the origin of Halloween. That you guys give you a story, or he makes you tell him a joke. That real annoying guy who makes you work for his candy. Like fuck, just put the goddamn candy in the bag, Aaron. You goddamn hippie now. Now he's a hippie at 38. Nothing more annoying than that. Great, you found philosophical psychedelics. You found psychedelics. Anyway, take the Bills there in Survivor. Let's get off of that. That's it. Well, that's not it. I got to do Man in the Box segment, my favorite segment. People react to that. Can today be a call-in show? People want to know. No, it cannot be a call-in show. You cannot call in. Like I said, I welcome you to watch, enjoy the content that I'm putting out. The Man in the Box, the man who's losing his mind. You'll see here, I got a Phillies hat on. It's World Series time. Phillies versus the Astros. What a matchup. Just like the Super Bowl, Eagles Patriots, where the whole country's like, oh, God, I really hate Philadelphia and their fans and their teams, which understandable. But Houston's are cheaters. They hate Houston. So, gun to America's head, you have to root for the Phillies. That's what you have to do. Even though it's completely irrational that we still call the Astros cheaters, but it's fun to do. I hate when people like Bob Costas tell you, listen, they've been to 6 World Series like in a row. You can't call them. Yeah, we can. We can call them cheaters because it's fun because they cheated. They cheated. And that's how they won their only World Series. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously good baseball players. You have to be good baseball players as well. And they're probably still not doing. Who knows what they're still doing? They did. I mean, everyone cheats in baseball, but they did. They took it to a technological level with trash cans. I mean, if I did steroids, I'm not going to be good at football. Like you have to be, or baseball, whatever. You have to be good at the sport first, and then the drugs help, and everything else helps. You can't just do it. Anyone can do it with a garbage can. No, you can't. You cannot do it. You cannot hit a 99-mile-an-hour fastball if someone hits a garbage can right beforehand, so you know it's coming. It won't matter. You will piss your pants. Oh, boy. So the World Series is here. Coming up. Starting tomorrow, Friday night. How is it not Tuesday and Wednesday? Baseball's hilarious. It could have been Tuesday and Wednesday, when America was watching TV. But now it's going to be this weekend, Halloween weekend, and football. No one's going to give a shit. Way to go, baseball. They're hilarious. What do you think? The world media's got to come in for this date? We got to have to. It has to be on this date so everyone can get a hotel arrangements. First of all, you don't know where it's being played. It's not like the Super Bowl where you know it's going to be played. You have to know what team's going to be in. It's going to be in New York. I mean, not the way they played, but you know what I mean. Well, there's no media coming in for this shit. Start this up. Tuesday and Wednesday. No one cares. That's when no one cares about baseball. I care as a Philly fan. And Houston Astro fans care. But that's what's funny about baseball. When your team's in it, and it's exciting, you think everyone's watching. Like, this is the craziest thing in the world. Only the local fans are watching. That's it. Then you go to like a friend and they're like, oh, can you believe it? The Phillies in the World Series. Like, what? Is it? Are they doing that this year? Oh, I didn't know. Congratulations, I guess. Should I get you a gift? How's this work? We're like, oh, no. Well, yeah, it was a thing. Bryce Harper kind of hit this big home run. I don't know if you saw it. Nope, didn't see it. I was too busy reading about Matt Ryan being benched. That's all I cared about for my fantasy league. I don't give a shit about whatever this white sport is, white and Latino. That was a stat that came out. There's no black players in the World Series this year. For the first time since 1950, not one black player on either roster. That's not a good look, baseball. But it was inevitable. The last 20 years, there's been a steady deduction of black players playing baseball, and baseball doesn't know why. There's a fun part about it. Like, there's no real answer to it. The answer is it's just not cool. Baseball's just not a cool sport. You can make a lot of money, which they don't even realize, but it's just not cool. It's a lot of boring around. So baseball, I remember baseball for the last 20 years, every year, Bud Selig would fly in like the 4 black players in the league to have a sit down with them to see what we can do, get some programs. It was like Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Torrey Hunter, and I don't know, Oil Can Boyd. I don't know. They would Oil Can, come on in. What's going on? How come black people don't play baseball? No, they don't have any fun nicknames. Maybe because they don't want to be on a bus with 30 fucking hicks from Nebraska with bats who openly say the N-word. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe put your goddamn hillbillies through school and every system's down in the South. Jesus Christ. Dave Winfield one time said it was because of skateboarding. True story. Well, the problem is kids are all skateboarding. What? Who's skateboarding? Black kids? That's why they're not playing baseball? I love Dave Winfield. Look that up. Look that up. Prove me wrong. Do my research for me. It's true story. When I was a kid, the funniest joke I ever heard in my life when I was a kid was in Mad Magazine. And I would tell people all the time. I would tell adults when I was a little siege, little man in a box. I lived in a little shoebox, little CJ. It was what candy bar is named after a famous New York Yankee? And they would go, Babe Ruth. Nope. Dave Butterfingers Winfield. Butterfingers Winfield. That to me is the peak of comedy, and I still believe it is. Anyway, so the World Series. Oh man, what are we at? What time? I listened to the Bryce Harper home run. Here's what's the problem with me. I should wrap this up, but now I'll get into it. Just real quick. I'm a Philly fan, but I realize I'm more of a fan of hating stupidity and ignorance and just being negative. That's my higher power to borrow a phrase from the AA people. Hating stupidity. You would think I listened to the game 5 versus the Padres on Sunday on the radio because I couldn't watch it. Which I think is fine. Baseball is supposed to be heard. They're the opposite of children. Baseball should be heard and not seen. You know, it's better on the radio. It's just more of a flow, whatever. You don't have to fucking watch. You don't get bored to sleep. It should be on in the background or read. You could read baseball. Get out your papers. Speaking of your papers.
I'm the guy that pulled out the sheets of paper, that looked at the analytics, that watched the tape in the freaking when we were at Indianapolis.
Baseball can be read or heard. You mow the lawn, you listen to the baseball game. You don't have to watch it. You check in, you check out. But this was an intense game. This was game 5. And then Bryce Harper hit the greatest home run in Philadelphia Philly history, no doubt. I mean, it was amazing. Clutch home run to send them to the World Series. Everyone's ecstatic. My friends ecstatic. People are texting me. And my reaction is like, you must be happy. How amazing. What a ride. I go, yeah. Why was Josh Hader not pitching? That's all I could think about. That was so dumb. What the fuck were they doing? How does Josh Hader not go in the game? And they're like, what? Yeah, no, that was dumb. But anyway, what a home run. We're going to the World Series. Yeah, but it's stupid. It should have been lefty on lefty. Hader. What was their excuse? I mean, their excuses were insane. He wasn't ready. Wasn't ready? What do you mean he wasn't ready? Get him ready. What the fuck is he doing? He's not ready. He's ready. Like, we didn't want him to do 5 outs instead of 4 outs. And Suarez never gave up a home run to a lefty yet. What? Suarez then? Great. That's not a lefty. That's Bryce Harper. That's not a lefty. Put in your best pitcher. Hader wasn't pitched since Wednesday to face Harper. It's what we all wanted to see. So I would rather talk about that than the greatest home run that ever happened while it happened. That's how fucking sick I am. And I think sick Philly fans. At least that's how sick I am. I'm like, then I was actually thinking, I'm like, can I enjoy anything? If I can't enjoy that, then I was mad about the fucking bunt in the top of the ninth by the Padres. There's one out. The guy bunts with the first and second. What? Did you think there was nobody out? Did you think he was going to score from second like Major League? What are you, Jake Taylor? That's not Willie Mays Hayes on second base. He's not coming around. You know, bunt, give out an out. The starter from 2 days ago comes in. He threw 2 pitches. Bunt out, pop up out. Phillies go to the World Series. Are you happy? No, I'm not happy because that was dumb. That was dumb by the other team. It's just maybe this is how I'm happy. This is how I'm happy, I guess. Being in a box, yelling about bunts and pitching decisions. In New Orleans Saints. That's what I realized. I realized when you're in this box and you have a conversation with yourself, that's what it is. It's a conversation with yourself. I can't say there's creativity. So I'm editing myself as it happens. I'm trying not to get off the deep end. That's why I appreciate all these comments because they're all just wellness checks. If any one of you guys on YouTube sees something that you don't, I actually got, you know what? Fuck. Let's wrap. That's what a lot of this man in the box is. It's me saying, all right, you know what? No, move on, CJ. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Because once you go there, you're never coming back. I have so many other things I wanted to talk about too. But it's World Series time, and we gotta talk about it now because it'll be over with soon. The Astros are pretty good. I got kicked. I went to the last time the Phillies won a World Series. They played Tampa Bay. They won. I got kicked out of Game 4 for getting in an argument like this with a Phillies fan. As a Phillies fan, it was a huge day there. It was there was the Eagles game playing in Atlanta during the day, and the Phillies at night. And if you know anything about South Philly, the sports complex is all in the same areas with one baseball stadium, football stadium, and First Union where Sixers and Flyers play. There's a Who concert going on there. It was a crazy Sunday there. It was nuts. It was Eagles, Phillies World Series, a Who concert, all in the same parking lot. So you had whiskey, you had Jaeger, you had nitrous balloons, you had a lot of things going on. So I was pretty fucked up. I double dipped. I went Eagles in there. I was with my buddy Dan Battani. He's asked me about Joe Blanton. He was the starter that day. He was our 5th starter. We gave him a lot of money to be, and he's an inning eater, basically, Joe Blanton. If you remember, Country Joe Blanton. Nothing against him. But he goes, is he any good? You know, my buddy was asking me that because he was, he checks in a little bit, but he's not a diehard fan. I was like, no, he's not. Not for the money we paid him. We didn't pay him to be a 5th starter, but that's what he became. But he's an inning eater. He does what he has to. And a fan in front of me goes, see, that's what's the problem with you Philly fans. Philly fans like you, because he was a Philly fan too. We're all Philly fans. He's a winner. He was like, 18 fucking 10 or whatever his record was. He had a winning record. Of course he had a winning record. He was on the best team in baseball. He was on he gave up fucking 8 runs, but they would score 10 for him. And that's what I was trying to tell him. This is before sabermetrics was kind of a thing. And I was trying to tell him how wins were worthless. So we're getting in an argument about that, Joe Blanton. And then that somehow it turned into, well, I bet you think Dan Marino's a bad quarterback because he never won a Super Bowl, but Trent Dilfer's better. Is that right? He's like, what? Yeah. And the security goes, there's a problem. Like, yeah, this asshole thinks Dan Marino's terrible quarterback. And Joe Blanton hit a home run for all saying, fuck you. And I'm yelling, fuck you. We're getting in a fight. Other Philly fans like, guys, we're in the World Series here. What are we doing? We're supposed to be on the same team. We're supposed to be a happy moment. This is my happy moment. Proving to him that Joe Blanton's overpaid is my happy moment. This is how I win, as Adam Sandler says in that meme, in that unrealistic Uncut Gems movie. All right. You know what? This is going way too long for the Man in the Box segment. Quick plugs. Let me get out of here. Follow me. Thank you guys for everyone watching the live stream. This will be on YouTube. I'll check into those comments and come back to you. I'm sure I know all of you personally. Follow me on Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken. Listen to my other podcast with Sean Flannery called The Blackout Diaries. That's a hilarious drinking storytelling show. Drinking storytelling? Yeah, storytelling drinking show. Blackout Diaries means Sean Flannery. It's on Star Runs Audio. It's very good. Yeah, CJ Sullivan was taken. I'll be in Appleton, Wisconsin next weekend. I'm getting out of the box, but you'll still get your bombs. I'll record them in Appleton, Wisconsin while the World Series is going on too. That'll be interesting. Yeah, other than that, stay tuned. If you're watching the Sports Gaming Podcast Network on their YouTube, Ryan and Sean's show, The Prop Show, they're going to have me on as a guest outside the box at the big table. I get the big piece of turkey at Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's about it. We'll play the music. I'll hit a bomb sound effect. And cue the weird techno. Goodbye.